Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about my labor and delivery story, and I just want to say that this was such a big deal for me, and this is something that I'm always going to remember for the rest of my life, and I just wanted to share that with you guys and really get into detail of like what happened and just share my story, because you guys, I was so scared. I was so petrified, and I think I expressed that many times in several videos, but I was literally freaking out. But once you're in the moment, everything changes. Okay, so let me just start off with this. My due date was actually on February 14th, 2019. I had no idea that I was actually going to start labor on my actual due date. I woke up at 4 in the morning and I noticed my urine had a slight coloration. I noticed that I was spotting and I was bleeding, and not heavily or nothing like that, but I was spotting, and I'm like, okay, this is the real deal. Like, what's going on here? Because I've never spotted, I've never bled throughout the whole pregnancy. And if you guys don't know, they say one of the biggest signs with starting labor is called the bloody show. So I guess I was experiencing this bloody show, even though it wasn't like so much blood. Anyways, I started bleeding and I was kind of freaking out. After that happened, I remember waking up my boyfriend and I'm like, okay, I'm bleeding, this is happening, should I call the hospital, should I not? I actually had an appointment that day anyways, so I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna, sleep it off. I was still tired, and I wasn't in any pain, so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna sleep and I'll wake up and see what happens. So I go and I find out that I am hitting 4 centimeters, and I'm like, what? Are you joking? Like, what do you mean? Like, in my head, I'm just like, I'm in shock. Like, I'm like, how am I almost 4 centimeters? Like, how is this possible? Because in my head, I'm thinking when you're close to like 3 or 4 centimeters that you're just dying in pain, and you're like experiencing these crucial moments of just, I don't know, in my head, I'm just like, okay, you're going through a lot of pain at 3 or 4 centimeters. So yeah, that was not the case for me. I was in no pain whatsoever. I was just spotting. Well, after that, they ran some tests on me. Everything was great. The baby's heartbeat was perfect. Everything was just going smooth. And so finally, one of the nurses or one of the doctors, they went ahead and did this like cervix swipe with 2 fingers, and oh my goodness, that was so painful. You have no idea. And it's basically like an old school method of starting contractions. I'm not exactly sure what they call it, but basically it was like a cervix swipe, and they went in there, you guys, and I was just in so much pain. It was painful. Sure enough, my contractions started to happen within the next 5 minutes. I remember it feeling like period cramps almost. It wasn't majorly painful at all. It was just kind of like, like I have period cramps. I just looked at her and I'm just like, oh my gosh, you are so good at this. Holy crap. And even the doctor was like, yep, she's amazing at that. She's known for that. So, we were just cracking up. I was just like kind of shocked about it all. I couldn't believe that by that little cervix swipe that my contractions would start happening. In my head, I'm like, okay, I'm like basically 4 centimeters. I am starving. What if I deliver tonight? What if I deliver soon? I need to eat something because I was starving. And I hear like, during labor and delivery that women are starving, the next day they're like rushing to eat something because it's just, you don't know how long you're going to go into labor, right? So anyways, we decided to go to like this Mexican restaurant. I had a full-on combination plate, had a big meal, okay? And I was like, let's do this, let's eat, let's have one last meal together. Okay, so as we were actually having lunch, I started to experience harder contractions. It was nothing super serious. It was still bearable, but I could feel the contractions getting a little tougher. And that's the thing with contractions, you know, they actually, well, at least for me, it's gradually like stronger, gradually. And it, you know, in my head this whole time I'm thinking, you know, once you go into labor, your contractions are gonna just start hurting and it's gonna be so intense. I just thought it happened all right away, but everything happened gradually for me. So it was kind of like getting over this next step. Anyways, we had our lunch and, you know, we went home and we just kind of waited, you know, we got comfortable. My boyfriend, you know, he was like my personal doula, you guys. He was doing everything for me. He was so amazing at what he did. You know, we lit up some candles, you know, we had the oils going on, we had the humidifier in the room. So I was bouncing on this yoga ball and, you know, as time went by, the contractions were getting stronger to the point where it really started to hurt. It was still bearable, but it was really starting to hurt. So I decided to take a hot bath, kind of soothe my body. They weren't so frequent at that time. And around, I want to say 6 p.m., let me see. I want to say around 5 or 6 p.m. is when it started to really get intense. Like I couldn't even take it, but I still could, if that makes any sense. So anyways, we went to the hospital and, you know, I went to go get checked in and I was basically 5 centimeters getting close to 6 centimeters. So basically they checked me in the hospital. It was the real deal, you guys. I was in labor. I was in labor for hours and it didn't even hurt in the beginning. It just all happened after that cervix swipe. I was just like, wow. But as soon as I got admitted into the hospital, you know, we got situated. We went into the delivery room. It was huge. It was spacious. You know, I was calm. My mom was there. My boyfriend's mom was there. Our family was all there basically. And it was a really calm moment for me. Oh, my baby's crying. Can you hear him? My mom's watching him right now. That means I gotta be quick with this video. You know, it was a spacious room. All our family was there. It was really calm for me, but I was in pain, you guys. I was in pain. And it was like a different pain. I can't even explain it. It was like having period cramps times 10. But the thing that shocked me the most is that, you know, everything was gradually happening. It was just like step by step. It was getting stronger by the hour, basically. And, you know, I was so thankful at that point because in my head, I'm thinking, you know, contractions are going to hurt like a bitch, and how am I going to do this? What am I going to do? But it happened so smoothly for me and it happened early in the morning. So honestly, I was super thankful, but it came to a point where, you know, I couldn't handle it anymore. I was like crying basically. You know, I was walking around the hospital trying to just, you know, keep my mind occupied. My boyfriend was just trying to keep my head busy, and it was just such an intense moment for me. They were intense moments, and I would even tell him like, I'm trying, you know, because I wanted to do a natural birth. Those were my whole intentions, but I was scared out of my mind. So in the back of my head, I'm like, you know, I might just take the epidural anyways. But I was trying to go as long as I could, you know, and I was starting to feel guilty. I'm like, I want to do this, but I'm really scared and it really, really hurts. What do I do, you know? And I just remember my mom and his mom saying like, just get the epidural, like, you know, you're in so much pain and you might just get it anyway, so why are you holding off on it if you're gonna get it anyways, you know? And okay, like, yeah, that's true. And, you know, I was already at 7 centimeters when I got that epidural. 7 centimeters, you guys. I was dying. Like, I couldn't even breathe. I was doing my breathing techniques. I was just like, you know, I was doing my breathing techniques. My boyfriend was doing it with me. My whole family members were basically doing it with me, just trying to calm me down. But it was so intense. They were getting so intense, and I was so scared to even get the epidural. I was freaking out just because of all the stories I've heard, even though I already kind of mentally prepared myself for this big day. I didn't want to see the needle. I kept telling my boyfriend, don't let me look, don't let me look. I was just so scared. I was shaking so much, and even the anesthesiologist was like, don't move, like stay still. And as soon as I got it, I didn't even feel pain. It was not painful at all. It was just like a regular shot. I mean, I don't even like shots, but it was just so doable. Like, I wasn't even thinking about the pain because it didn't hurt, I could feel like an intense kind of cooling sensation as the IV was going into my back, basically. But I was getting worried because I wasn't feeling it right away. And I'm thinking, oh my God, am I going to go into delivery feeling these contractions? Am I going to feel the whole entire situation going down there? Like, what's happening? I could still feel I could still feel myself, I could still feel, I didn't feel numb. And then I want to say probably about a good solid 10 minutes is when everything started to feel better. I felt numb, but I could still move my legs, which I was pretty shocked because I'm thinking in my head, if you have the epidural, you can't even move at all. Like, you're just like a dead fish, right? But no, I felt pretty relaxed. I felt calm. I felt really happy. I was so happy, you guys. Because I waited so long until 7 centimeters, even though I had the epidural, I was ready to go an hour later. I was 10 centimeters an hour later, even with the epidural. So I strongly believe that because I waited so long, the baby was able to come so quick. It was so shocking. Like, I thought I was gonna have more rest. In my head, I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna go into delivery mode until like 2 to 3 hours. But nope, an hour later, okay, get ready, it's time to push. You guys, I was so scared. I was so scared to push. Crazy how the woman's body is. It's crazy what feelings you go through throughout this process because, it's all, I think with your first baby, it's all about fear. I mean, even with your second, third, fourth, I don't know. It's just a scary feeling because you feel like, you're gonna have surgery or something, and sometimes it could be just overwhelming. It was overwhelming for me personally because I was just so scared. I was scared of the unknown. All I can say is that everything felt like a dream to me. Everything felt so unreal, so surreal. I remember her just like, okay, you're gonna hold on until 10 and then you're just gonna keep pushing the whole time. So she would just be like 1, 2, 3, and I'm just pushing my hardest. I'm just like, and I was so scared, but I was doing it and everything was going so well for me. I was at 7 centimeters and my water still didn't break, so they broke it for me. I could just feel the baby's head drop immediately. Boom. And the amniotic fluids were so warm. Like, it took me about 45 minutes to push, probably close to an hour, but it felt like 15 minutes. Everything happened so fast. Everything felt like a dream, and I could just hear the doctor and all the nurses saying, oh my God, his hair is sticking out, he has a lot of hair. And I remember touching my baby's hair and I just started to bawl. I was just crying because I just felt happiness. It just felt surreal. I felt like it was a dream and I couldn't believe it. So yeah, you guys, my baby came into the world. I remember we had skin to skin, we had bonding right after he was born, and it just felt incredible. It felt unbelievable. It's only been 10 days, you guys, and I still can't believe that my baby is here. Like, I cannot believe it. But yeah, I really wanted to share this with you because I was really scared for labor and delivery. It's always been one of my biggest fears, always, and I didn't expect everything to go so well. Even though I experienced a lot of pain and I experienced, all these emotions, it really wasn't bad. And you guys, I'm the type of person that cries over paper cuts, okay? I'm the type of person that freaks out, that has like anxiety attacks, okay? Honestly, it wasn't bad. And I just want to tell any of you girls out there, if you guys are scared, don't be, because you know, you don't know what's going to happen. You know, stay positive and really experience labor, because it's not as bad as everyone makes it seem. At least it wasn't for me. And I'm, like I said, I am not good with pain. I'm not good with any of that stuff, okay? But everything happened gradually. It, you know, it wasn't like, boom, you're having contractions, boom, you're in pain, like, you know, you're gonna feel horrible. No, everything started like little by little. It was like step by step, literally. And just knowing that I was able to get the epidural kind of just made me feel at ease, because it was like my safety blanket, basically. Well, I need to get to my baby because he's crying, poor little baby. So, you know, this is just kind of like my short story of my labor and delivery experience, and I really hope this like helped you. I really hope this put you to ease in some type of way, because I remember being so scared, you guys, and honestly, it shouldn't be a scary deal. It should be, you know, empowering, really. So yeah, I'm gonna just leave that at that, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for sticking around. I know it's been kind of a while since I've uploaded, but it's because I've been so busy. So thank you guys so much for just sticking around and supporting my channel. Love you guys so much. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!